hall now as Michael Bader
Monsieur,
introduces
Monsieur, Monsieur. Can you
Maxime
guys give it up
Bernier.
for Maxime Bernier?
Merci, merci. Thank you, Michael. As you know, that's a great evening. I'm very happy to be here tonight with you guys. I want to speak about. I can listen to myself. It's okay. So I want to speak to you tonight about two things. First, freedom. Second, truth. And you are here tonight because, like me, we all together share the same values, the same ideas. We believe in freedom. We believe that we must speak about the truth. And we believe in love. Yes, love. Love for our country. Love for our fellow citizens. And as Jeff said a bit earlier, we are in tough times right now. It is difficult for us to tell the truth based on facts and science. And yes, the last election was difficult for the People's Party. We didn't have the result that we wanted. We worked hard. And what happened? We wanted to have a real discussion, a real national discussion at the last election, a real national discussion on the challenges that we face as a society, a discussion about immigration, the impact of mass immigration on our standard of living, housing, our social tissue, the fabric of our country. We knew that 65% of the population are on our side against mass immigration. That's why we thought that would be our election. We have 65% of the population on our side. Let's speak about that. They will know that there's only one national political party that is ready to fight for them. But that was not the case. That election was about who will be the best one, the best leader to manage Donald Trump. That was not an election. That was a referendum on who will be the best one to have a trade deal with Donald Trump. That was the only subject of the electoral campaign. So we fought and we have the result. But it's a new beginning for us now. Yes, we lost 700,000 votes, 700,000 Canadians who did vote for the People's Party in 2021. They decided to vote strategically. They wanted to get rid of the Liberals. They told me in my face during the last election, Maxime, I'm a founding member of the People's Party. I love you. Yes, I don't like your accent, but that's okay. I love you. I voted for you in 2019. I voted for you in 2021. But today, at this election, I cannot vote for you, Maxime. But I'll stay a member of the party. I will still donate to the party. But I'm afraid of the Liberals, and I need to support Pierre Poilievre. So there's about 700,000 PPC former voters who did that. And now they understand that it is not working. When you don't vote for what you believe, you won't have what you want. And so they will come back, and more people will come back. And we have a great team here with Michael and all the volunteers. We have a big challenge. The challenge is to tell the truth, but also for our supporters, for our voters, to do like our candidates all across the country, like Jeff, like all our candidates across the country, who decided there's a risk. There's a risk to speak based on your convictions during these times. Because, you know, society right now, it's not the one that we had 25 years ago. You know, our society is sick. When the elite and our politicians are saying that a boy can be a girl and a girl can be a boy and they can have a transition, and that's mainstream. That's crazy. That is crazy. So we are seeing that very dangerous philosophy, woke, global, and we are the only party that is fighting against globalism, for patriotism, against central planning, for radical decentralization, against the elite, for the people, because we are the people's party. We are fighting for you because we know that when our fellow Canadians, when we give them the opportunity and more freedom and more liberty, you'll have a better country, you have a freer country, you have a more prosperous country. And we have faith in people. We have faith that you have the ability to do what you want, to achieve your dreams, if we gave you only one thing, only one thing, more autonomy, more freedom. And it's not the government who will solve that. It's not the laws, it's not the conservatives. They are doing politics by survey and polls, not by conviction. They don't have any convictions. The only conviction that they have, they want to be in power. They want to govern you. They want to be able to tell you what is the best for you. And that's why they're doing pollings and focus group. But we don't do that. We don't believe in that. So you may say, Maxime, why are you saying that? You don't want to listen to Canadians? You don't want to know what they think? You don't do any polling and focus group? Yes, you're right. I don't want to know what the manipulate Canadians who are manipulated by extreme media. The public opinion has been manipulated with the news, with the ad coming from government. Like during COVID, 65% of the population during COVID saying it's okay with the lockdowns, it's okay with the vaccine passport. That's why we were the only political party standing up for your freedoms, because we knew that was not the solution. But you need to have the courage of your conviction. So doing pollings or focus group is not important for us, because we know that the truth will always prevail. It's a question of time. It's a question of convictions. And when Michael is door knocking, speaking with Canadians, That's the solution. That's why I believe that the future for the People's Party will be bright. And the next election will be better than the last one and the first one, because more people realize right now that there's what the conservatives or the liberals are offering you, that's not the real solution. It's a band-aid. When you have Pierre Poilievre saying that it would be okay with a deficit of $42 billion, that would create inflation. Inflation is a hidden tax, and we are paying that inflation tax right now. So Poilievre and Carney and the NDPs, the Bloc Québécois in Quebec, it's all the same. So what we need to do is a peaceful revolution, and that's happening. More people now are questioning. When you are poorer and poorer and poorer with that inflation, you cannot buy a house, and you need to have at least two salaries to be able to have your family. Something is happening in our society, and people are questioning now the mainstream narrative. So we were not, the flavor of the month at the last election because we didn't have the chance to speak. That was not that was not our policies and our ideas were not part of the national debate. So that's why we need to start right now. And we are doing that, rebuilding the party all across the country. And I want to thank our candidates all across the country. We have candidates who were with us in 2019, 2021, 2025, and will be with us at the next election. We are building, but we need you. We need you to be out there and to help us. What is the goal? To have the best ideas, and we believe that we have the best ideas because our ideas are based on the Western civilization values. So we have the best ideas. But if we keep our ideas for ourselves, if we don't have the courage to wake up, to stand up, speak up for what we believe to our friends and our family, nothing will happen. But you are here tonight because you know that this country is not going in the right direction. And you know also that if you speak up, that will be the beginning of that revolution. And we don't need 100% of the population or 50% of the population to do a revolution. 20%. The American Revolution, 20% of the Americans were fighting for that revolution. Only 20%. So that's why our candidates all across the country are ready to fight. And we know that, what is the more precious in politics? Because if you look at what Canadians think about politicians, they're low. you know, they're not very, people are not, giving them big confidence. They're lying. And so being a politician, it's not a, a I must say, an establishment politicians. It is not something that you want. And people think like that because they're not speaking to them about solutions. And they think that we are adolescents. They're speaking with us with slogans. Look at Pierre Poilievre every time he has a slogan. But behind the slogan, there's nothing. There's no conviction. There's no ideas. But to speak and telling Canadians all the reforms that we must do, when you speak about what you believe with passion and conviction, that's the only thing that we can do. But that's very successful. I believe so. The time is on our side. we were, and I was a racist in 2019 because I was just saying, we need to have a discussion about the level of immigrants. I said a maximum of 150,000 in 2019. For me, I must say, when I wrote that policy, I said, oh, that would be very popular. And I didn't think that, people would call me racist, xenophobe, white supremacist. I didn't think about that. Why? Because I'm coming from Quebec. Because in Quebec, we had this discussion about immigration at every provincial election. Because in Quebec, we want to keep our culture and our language. We want to protect our culture. And so you have the PQ that have, either 40,000 maximum, the liberals at the provincial level, 50,000. So you have a discussion, a national discussion about the level of immigration. Nobody's saying, oh, you're racist because you want only 20,000. But we started that conversation for the first time in Canada, outside Quebec, for the first time in 2019, and didn't want to have that conversation. We had billboards saying no to mass immigration. We paid for this billboard to be there for a month, and they were there for a week because of protests. But now, today, we were right in 2019, but today nobody can say to us, you're a racist party, because they know you have the Bank of Canada wrote a report last week about the situation of the economy. And they said because, we have fewer immigrants, yes, this year we'll have fewer immigrants, prices of renting is going down. So they are admitting that mass immigration is bringing up prices of home and rent in our country. And they're saying also the impact on healthcare, it will be positive because we have fewer people coming to Canada. I was saying that in 2019, the impact of mass migration of our healthcare system will be huge. And we were right. And now the Bank of Canada said, yeah, because we have fewer people this year, it is helping to have rent that is going down, housing is going down downtown Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver. The price for a house over there. So what I'm telling you, the problem that we have as a political party is we are ahead of our time. But our time will come. And the People's Party will be there when Canadians are ready. And I count on you for us because we have a tough time from now to the next election. They're using everything to censor us and censor you. There's two bills in Parliament right now, C8 and C9. That's all about censorship control. So as you know, with the bill C8, if a minister, not a judge, not the government, a minister decide that he or she does not like what you're writing on social media, what you are saying on X, on our YouTube, that minister can call your internet providers and cut you off of the internet, just like that. And you won't have the right to speak and say what happened to you. You won't have the right to speak and tell Canadians that the government did that to you. That's in the bill C8. Internet, social media is the expression of our freedom. Without social media, we cannot communicate. Without social media, it would be harder for us as a party and for you as an individual to speak about your ideas. So they're using that. So they can cut me out of the internet tomorrow if this bill pass for you. That's a censorship. And the other deal, C9, it's all about hate. And they think that we need a bill for hate speech. But no, we have the criminal code. And the criminal code, you have a, a clause for hate, violent speech. It is there. So you don't need a new legislation. Which one? 319. So, but they have that new legislations and they have a new definition of hate. It can be anything. But somebody can complain to the police about you, about what you said on social media, and the police will investigate and they will charge you. Usually, before the police can do that, they have to go in front of judge to have a warrant. To, but no, right now it won't. The police will be the judge. They will do their investigation. They will judge. They will decide. Okay, we will charge that person. And now after that, you have to spend a lot of money to defend yourself. So they try to control us because they know that when we are telling the truth, it's powerful. They don't want that. But we are doing that fight against these bills, and you must do the same also. You know, if you have time this week, call your MP, write to your MP, telling him or her that you don't want your MP, you don't want him to support C8 and C9. You know, I was an MP. I know what it is when we receive emails from people living in our writing. We want to be reelected, so we are listening to that a little bit more. And as you know, every Wednesday there's a caucus. The caucus with the conservatives, the liberal caucus, NDP caucus, and they have discussion about the legislation. But at the end of every caucus, that's the Q&A. I was part of the conservative caucus. And at the end of the caucus will start at 9 o'clock Wednesday and it will end at 12. And at 11 o'clock, that's the Q&A. There's a mic in the middle and all the MPs, the conservative MPs with the conservative caucus can ask questions to the leader. And usually it's about what they are hearing in their writing. And they said, you know, when I was a conservative, that was a prime minister. Prime minister, if that bill passed, you know, I have a lot of supporters who don't like it. Why? We must change it. We must not promote it. We must not vote for it. So there's a discussion there. That's why when you speak with your MP or write to your MP, he will notice that. And he may act during the caucus and stand up and speak for you. So that's why I believe that that fight against C8 and C9, we can win that fight if every Canadian understand the gravity of the situation concerning our freedom and our liberty. I told you at the beginning that I will speak about freedom, and you know that our freedoms are in danger. And I will speak about tenacity. But tenacity, you need some courage to speak about what you believe. And yes, you need tenacity. You know, when we started the party in 2018, we think that, oh, we will have our first member elected. I will be elected as the leader in 2019. I was pretty sure didn't work. I try again 2021, didn't work. 2025 didn't work. But next time it will. You need to fight for what you believe and give everything. And that's why our candidates and myself, we are doing right now. We don't need to change our strategy because we are doing politics differently with ideas, with principles, with conviction. That is you. And when you're doing that, you are gaining credibility. It's very precious credibility in politics. People can look at what we said, what Michael said, what Jeff said at the last election or the other one. We are not following the wind. We're following our heart and our mind. And people can see that we are serious and we are credible because, you know, about any subject, you can go back and find a whole video of me or some of our candidates saying the same thing today than what we were saying 7 years ago. And that's very important in politics because you are getting credibility. And I will finish with an anecdote. When I did run in Portage Disgard in a by-election before the general election, you know, the conservative did everything to be sure that I won't be elected. When we started that election in Portage Disgard, I was at 6% in the polls. We were able to grow that up to 19%. But the conservative did a very good campaign of disinformation. What they were doing against me and the party was not about our policy, was not about everything that we did since the creation of the party, was things that I said or done when I was a conservative. They were not able to find anything against the People's Party and our ideas since the creation of our party. Because they knew that everything that we are saying, it's very popular with their members. That's why at every election, the only thing that they're saying, don't split the vote. Don't split the, they know that people are with us. They're conservative, or we have also people from the liberal side and the Unity side who are coming with us. They can see that we are different, and they can see that with these ideas, we can build something new in this country. So they cannot fight with us on ideas, and that's why they want to discredit us. They don't want to give us any visibility. They want to cancel us. They don't want to debate with us. Our candidates, it's very difficult for them during a campaign to be part of the debate in their ridings. They don't want, they're afraid. They're afraid. But I can tell you, with you and the time that we have from now between the next election, that revolution will come sooner than we thought. Sooner than we thought. You can see everything right now. In Europe, Nigel Farage in UK. It's very difficult in a parliamentary system for a new political party like the People's Party to have our first candidate elected because we don't have any proportionality in our electoral system. Like in UK, Nigel Farage with 14% of the vote at the last general election in UK, he had only 7 MPs elected. Only 7 with 13% of the vote. Right now, if there's an election tomorrow in UK, he will be the prime minister. He will be the prime minister. Look at his electoral platform. Go on his website, Reform UK. Go on his website, read the platform. I think he copied our platform. It's about the same. If he was supposed to be elected, and because he was elected, he had more visibility. And now, you know, in UK, it is worse than here in Canada. They are losing their freedom. mass immigration, the impact is huge over there. And so more people are awake. And that's why he may be able to win the next election. So for us, we are in the same parliamentary system than in UK. It's about the same. Our time will come and that revolution will come. So we need to change the public opinion. But I cannot do that alone. And that's why you are here tonight. You are helping Michael and his organization and the People's Party with your donations. And if you can, donate on a regular basis, we have people who are they donate $10 a month every month. That's helping us. And the money that we have, we are using that to promote our ideas, to promote our vision for this country. And I know that it's very tough. I was reading the news today about the liberals and the conservatives. They had to give Elections Canada the money that they are able to raise every trimester. So the last trimester for the liberals and the conservatives, they were able to raise half of the money they used to raise last year. Half. They don't have the same amount of donation that they had a year ago. Why? Because we are in a recession, because it's very tough for everybody, and because also people are disappointed with these mainstream political parties. So for us, it's a challenge also because we can feel that recession right now. It's more difficult for Canadians. But we have more donors, but our average donation is going down a little bit. But I'm looking on the positive side, more people are coming and donate to the party because more of them understand that our ideas must be adopted for changing this country for better. So thank you for you to be here, to donate your time and your money. And now I will ask you to give a little bit more by talking about what you believe to your friends, your family, your coworkers. Don't be silent. Be out there. Speak about what you don't like in this country and tell them that there's a solution out there. We are here for them and we will always fight for Canadians. That's my main message. We believe in our country. We are putting our country first, but the most important, Canadian first. Thank you. Merci.
Thank you. Mr. Maxime Bernier.